Hey, look what I got last night. How many of you guys going? Much like Bokenger, there are arcs. You have a pirate, a Norse god, and the Corona Aurora jewels. They're spread out throughout the world, just like there are the many preciouses in Go-Go Sentai Bokenger. They're more original fights than the original Bruce. Well, SPG actually had a decent amount of original fights. I don't know how about Mystic Force, but I think there was definitely more in Operation Overdrive. I felt that like they probably could have like I don't know why they did original fights because like I think the original fights in Bokenger were way more awesome than the ones they did, but that doesn't mean that the fights they did were terrible. The fights they had were like still pretty good. The team episode was pretty memorable. Um, I'm not a Disney fan, but like I felt like the people it felt like they were casted well, like they had good chemistry and stuff, and that like it felt like when they were auditioning, it felt like they had good chemistry or whatever. Like I don't know who did the human resources for that, but it really worked out very well. It really got fans thinking about fan fiction, and it really got the pot stirred. Like people were all of a sudden thinking about like which Power Rangers team like they would like to mix up and stuff. I've been thinking about it for several years, and it was an anniversary anyway for like Wokenger, so I thought about it then. But like for American fans, like who didn't follow Wokenger, like they had that opportunity as well. I have a question. Like in Dino Thunder history, they have Mighty Morphin music, but they don't use it in Once a Ranger. Why is that? On a side note, Frax was Rita and Zed's son in in Once a Ranger, but how remember? I don't know if this is true or not, but there was this rumor that Rita was originally supposed to have a son called Bubba based on I forget the kid's name, but it was Rita's, not Rita's, Machiko Soga's, not Machiko Soga's, Machiko who Machiko Soga was playing, Maho Winch Bandora son in yeah, it was based on him for the Mighty Morphin series, and they were gonna do something on that. I wonder if there was any connection there, and it was a carried over like storyline from that. They got into uh, Operation Overdrive, or maybe it was just a generic. My long lost son comes like the generic fan fiction where you bring back the long lost son who like fights everybody. I thought the Red Ranger in the series was very interesting. People are probably gonna disagree with me, which I'll get to that later. But let me talk about the rest of the Red Rangers in the Disney era, excluding Wild Force. Even including Wild Force, you could probably say like there's some people who disagreed with Cole being a Red Ranger, but that's for another day. I thought Shane really like was not the leading type, and once like they tried to put him in that type, like I really got confused and agitated when I was younger. I haven't watched the series in a while, but when I watched that now, like I mean when I watched that before, I got really agitated when they were trying to bring on the fact that he's like supposed to be this important Red Ranger. All of a sudden, like that just really confused me. Connor was a bit of an annoying person, a bully, even very anti Mighty Morphin like in Dino Thunder, and I definitely think it was very anti Saban Power Rangers like for that series. Jack wasn't as bad as those two, but he was definitely used as a foil for Sky, and as a result, like he never had a time to shine. Nick was supposed to be like really badass like. It's very ironic that he ends up like having a motorcycle like Emperor Grum does in Power Rangers Samurai, but yeah, he was a bit. he wasn't really that likable, yet he was the main character anyway, which could work, but didn't really work in a Disney type situation. Like like other situations could have been done, but you'd have to handle it with like better directors and stuff. So there we go with Matt Hartford. Like he's really conventional. He likes to adventure. He likes to explore. He likes to he wants to save his team. He wants to approve from his father. He reminds me of all these attributes that like original Mighty Morphin and Saban Power Rangers like had. And then he got turned into an android. Oh boy. That's probably why everybody doesn't like him now. Uh, I mean, it was already a little weird between his father and the son. Like it was, like Andrew Hartford was really overprotective of Mac Hartford, and that was very weird in the series. It's sort of like Batman and Robin, like, which so I don't know. It was my observation of it. I don't know what everybody else's interpretation of it was. Rodney McRobinson, Rurd, is somehow connected to Sentinel Knight, but that wasn't really done well considering that like she had much of a story arc in Go Go Sentai Bokenger where we didn't know her identity and she was mysterious and stuff. In this, she just ended up being like Saban, like not like Tommy or Frax or like very good villain Saban like characters, but more like the characters that aren't as well known or given as much story arcs. Like, oh, they have something, but not much. Like Katie from Time Force and people like that. Taizan. What I really disliked about sorry, Ninja Storm, and and Ninja Storm and the Six Rangers and how they screwed that up. Not the Six Rangers, but like the evil new Rangers that joined the team. Like they really, they really downplayed that